The United Kingdom has quietly declared a war, but not one fought with soldiers or tanks. This is a war of policy, of paperwork, and of percentages, waged against the very people it once claimed to welcome. It's a war on ambition, specifically targeting the hopes of students and skilled workers from key nations around the globe. The latest Home Office data, which we will discuss today, is not just a report, it's a battle plan. It reveals the shocking effectiveness of a new strategy designed to systematically reject and deter millions of applicants, with Indian and Nigerian nationals finding themselves on the front lines of this crackdown. For years, the UK government has been operating under immense political pressure to cut its net migration figures. This has become their single most important objective, a promise to the electorate that has driven a series of increasingly stringent measures. To achieve this, they have launched a multi-front assault on the immigration system. The primary casualties of this new campaign are, by design, the largest groups of applicants, skilled workers and students. And within these groups, Indian and Nigerian citizens, consistently the top two nationalities applying, have been hit the hardest. The government knew that to make a real dent in the numbers, they had to find a way to turn off the tap from these two Commonwealth powerhouses. But how do you do that without facing accusations of discrimination? You don't build a physical wall. You build a maze of rules so complex and so demanding that only a fraction of the people who enter will ever find their way through. Stick with me, because we are about to expose the weapons being used in this war and reveal the new reality of who gets in and who gets locked out of the UK in 2025. Let's examine the first front in this war, the attack on skilled workers. The primary weapon deployed here is the salary threshold. In a move that sent shockwaves through industries reliant on global talent, the government detonated a financial bomb on this route. On April 4th, 2024, the minimum salary required for a skilled worker visa was raised from a manageable £26,200 to a staggering £38,700. That's an increase of nearly 50%. On the surface, this sounds like a policy to attract only the highest quality talent. But in reality, it is a ruthlessly effective filter, precision engineered to disqualify a huge portion of applicants from countries like India and Nigeria. Think about it. A talented software developer from Bangalore, a skilled marketing professional from Lagos, or a brilliant engineer from Mumbai might be offered a job in Manchester or Birmingham for £32,000. By any reasonable standard, that is a fantastic salary, well above the national average. Before April 2024, that person was a prime candidate for a UK visa, a welcome addition to the workforce. Today, they are an automatic rejection. The government is fully aware that salary scales in India and Nigeria, while producing world-class talent, are different from those in London's financial district. By setting the bar so high, they effectively price out hundreds of thousands of qualified professionals. It's a class-based barrier that functions as a nationality-based barrier in disguise. It allows the Home Office to reject a candidate from India, not because of their nationality, but because their perfectly good job offer is now deemed too low. This single rule change has done more to block skilled workers from these nations than any overt ban ever could. It's a quiet, bureaucratic, and devastatingly effective weapon. The message is blunt. Unless you are a high-earning executive, the UK is no longer interested. Now, let's move to the second front, the war on students. For years, the UK's world-class universities have been a beacon for Indian and Nigerian students. They came in huge numbers, not just for the education, but for the opportunity to build a better life. This influx was a boon for the UK, with international students contributing an estimated £20.65 billion to the economy through tuition fees and living expenses. But the government saw these numbers, particularly the number of dependent spouses and children who came with them, and they identified a target. Their weapon of choice? The family blockade. In January 2024, they banned the vast majority of international students from bringing their dependents. Only those on specific postgraduate research courses, a tiny fraction of the total, were exempt. This wasn't a minor tweak, it was a strategic masterstroke aimed directly at the demographic profile of many students from India and Nigeria. Unlike younger students from Europe or America, a significant portion of postgraduate students from these countries are in their late 20s or 30s. They are often married with young children, established professionals taking a career break to upskill. For them, studying abroad is a family decision, a shared sacrifice, and a collective project. The idea of leaving their spouse and children behind for 1 or 2 years is simply not an option. By banning dependents, the UK government made the decision for them. The data proves the surgical precision of this attack. While the number of main student applicants from India and Nigeria has seen a significant drop, the number of dependent applications has crashed dramatically. In the year ending June 2024, visas issued to student dependents fell by 39% compared to the previous year. In the first 6 months of 2024 alone, dependent visas granted fell by a staggering 81% compared to the same period in 2023. This policy has had a chilling effect. In the year to June 2024, the number of student visas issued to Indian nationals fell by 23%, and for Nigerian nationals, it plummeted by 46%. The government didn't stop the desire to study, but they successfully filtered out the students with families, who made up the huge part of the cohort they wanted to reduce. This has left universities facing a significant financial shortfall, with some experts estimating a loss of £1.1 billion in international fee income over 2 years. Finally, we come to the most brutal battlefield of all: the complete annihilation of the health and care worker route for new overseas applicants. This was perhaps the most cynical chapter in this entire saga. First, the UK government sent out a global distress signal, begging for care workers to come and save its struggling social care sector. Hundreds of thousands, a huge number of them from India and Nigeria, answered the call. They were promised a future in the UK, a chance to contribute to a vital public service. Then, once the numbers reached a political tipping point, the betrayal came. The government didn't just tweak the rules, they carpet-bombed the entire route. First, on the 11th of March 2024, they banned care workers from bringing dependents, using the same tactic as they did with students. Then they went further, announcing a complete halt to overseas applications for care roles for new applicants. The door that was once wide open was slammed shut and bolted. The numbers are breathtaking. From a peak of over 18,000 main applicants in a single month, the numbers have collapsed by over 90% to just over 1,000. In the year ending September 2024, there was a 65% decrease in health and care worker visa grants compared to the previous year. This route, which represented a genuine lifeline for so many hard-working individuals from India and Nigeria, has been effectively erased from the map for new applicants. When you piece it all together, the picture becomes terrifyingly clear. This is not a series of isolated policy changes. This is a coordinated, multi-front war on the aspirations of skilled workers and students, with the rules of engagement specifically designed to cause maximum impact on the largest applicant pools from India, Nigeria. The weapons are not guns, but salary thresholds, dependent bans, and route closures. The rejections are not personal, they are systemic. Latest Home Office data shows that applicants from Nigeria and Ghana have some of the lowest grant rates for work visas, at around 80%. The UK has engineered a system where millions of dreams are now being rejected by default. The message, whether intended or not, is clear. The drawbridge has been pulled up. For those of you still navigating this new landscape, you must understand that you are no longer just an applicant. You are a combatant on a battlefield of bureaucracy, and you need to be more strategic and more informed than ever before. I know this is heavy, but it's the reality we now face. The hostile environment has been expanded, fortified, and is now ruthlessly efficient. I want to hear what you think in the comments. How have these changes affected you or someone you know? Are you a student who can no longer bring your family? Are you a skilled professional whose job offer is no longer enough? Share your stories below. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this report informative, please subscribe to Daily Visa News for more in-depth analysis of the policies shaping our world. Stay informed and stay safe.